While the Dallas Mavericks are wrapping up free agency, we're currently in the Summer League. And although we didn't draft Bronny James, the MVP of Summer League, the Dallas Mavericks instead decided to opt in and solve a problem that we've all been saying. We need another big, whether that's a third-string center to replace Dwight Powell, or maybe a stretch forward to replace Maxey and back up PJ. And the Dallas Mavericks decided to extend a Summer League invite to 7'5" center Jamarion Sharp out of Ole Miss. So in this video, we're going to take a deep dive into Jamarion Sharp, take a look at his game, his strengths, his weaknesses, and whether or not he's a good fit for the Dallas Mavericks in the short term versus long term. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started this video, I just want to say thank you guys so much for just killing it with the likes in the last few videos. And I want to challenge you guys to keep it up. If we can get this video to 800 likes, I'd appreciate it greatly. But, like I said in the intro, the Dallas Mavericks, we have a need, and that need is size. We've got one roster spot open, a couple $1 million to spend, and the Dallas Mavericks, from all the reports, it looks like they're looking to get a guard. We talked about Spencer Dinwiddie, we talked about Malachi Flynn, as well as Dennis Smith Jr. 3 guards, 2 being undersized, that a lot of people just don't want. I've seen the comment section, I've seen what people are saying on Twitter and Reddit, that the Dallas Mavericks don't need any more guards. And I agree too. I think the Dallas Mavericks could use some size, some athleticism, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't want to see Dwight Powell be that replacement big if Daniel Gafford or Derrick Lively have to miss games. And there's a lot of people that think that Maxey is still the same Maxey that can help out the team, but there's also some people that think that we could find a better replacement. And the Dallas Mavericks may have just found that player that can solve both those problems, and that player is Jamarion Sharp. If we take a look right here, Jamarion Sharp has been invited to the Dallas Mavericks Summer League team, as well as a couple other players, and the roster goes as such. We got Melvin, our draft from this most recent draft. We got Wereth from the G League, TJ Clark also from the G League, Alex Fudge, Jazz Gortman, Xavier Johnson, AJ Lawson, Ricky Lindo, Jared Lucas, Emmanuel Miller, Max Prosper, Jamarion Sharp, Justin Webster, Isaiah Whaley, and Brandon Williams. A couple familiar names, some from our G League team, some that are on our two-way contracts. I was very excited when I saw my man Max Prosper, someone who I think is going to just take a huge leap, a player who will see some minutes, whether that's just at the end of the bench or maybe in our actual rotation. Max Prosper is ready to go. He shot great last year in the G League from 3. He plays very good defense, and as long as Kyrie continues to just mentor Max, and as long as the team keeps working with them, I believe Max will be a good fit for the team. But the player who I think is a sneaky signing, or at least a sneaky pickup, because we haven't signed him yet, is Jamarion Sharp. If we take a look right here, Jamarion Sharp has led the NCAA in block percentage the last 2 seasons and finished second in the stat to current Jazz center Walker Kessler 3 years ago. It is simply a Summer League invite as of now, but maybe down the line, this is another young rim protector Tyson Chandler can teach and mold. He went undrafted, but he has size and wingspan you can't teach. And just for reference for how tall 7'5" is, this is Jamarion Sharp standing next to Shaquille O'Neal, looking like he's Shaq's father, or at least, you know, he's just taller than Shaq, right? But Jamarion Sharp is a very interesting player. I was watching some highlights. I was trying to do my homework on what type of player Jamarion Sharp actually is, and he's a very interesting player. He was about 6'8" when he graduated high school and then just kept growing, currently at 7'5". And from all the highlights and everything that I saw, he has very good footwork for a big. He's not your typical 7+ footer who just lumbers around the court, doesn't have a lot of mobility, not a lot of lateral quickness, but Jamarion Sharp can get blocks. Jamarion Sharp can get rebounds. Jamarion Sharp plays defense, and not just in the post. Jamarion Sharp will meet you at the perimeter. He will meet you at the free throw line, in the mid-range, and contest every single shot. One of the good strengths, one of the very glaring strengths that Jamarion Sharp has is his defense. And he doesn't score a whole lot, although I'd say that's the easy lob threat when you're 7'5". But his defense is definitely the highlight of his game, where he is not afraid to guard the 1 through 5. He will meet you at the perimeter. He will meet you down low. Even in a pick and roll situation, if you blow right past him, he's very good at trailing the player and getting the chase down block. And his passing is elite. Obviously, because he's 7'5", he can see everybody, but easily getting a block or a rebound and just getting it to the right guy, or getting it down low and kicking it back out. Jamarion Sharp has a very good basketball IQ for someone who's only 22 years old and who only played in junior college and played in Ole Miss for about 2 years as well. And leading the NCAA in blocks for 2 years in a row, I think that's very impressive as well. The Dallas Mavericks could definitely use some more shot blockers. Obviously, we lost Derrick Jones Jr. Wasn't the biggest shot blocker, but he could get blocks with his athleticism. And obviously, Derrick Lively, Daniel Gafford, they get blocks as well. But why not add a third-string center at 7'5" who can also get blocks? If we just take a look right here, college stats are crazy. Only about 3.3 points in his last season, but he also had 2.4 blocks per game in Ole Miss, as well as 4.1 rebounds. But his overall college stat line was 6.3 points, 3.7 blocks, and 6.5 rebounds per game, while shooting about 66% on the floor. Pretty good in college. Obviously, he went undrafted. That's just the truth. He went undrafted. I guess he didn't really impress anybody, but picking up someone like Jamarion Sharp to just be that 15th man, you give him a two-way contract, you stash him away. He's only 22 years old. You give him some time in the G League to develop. You get him in the gym with Tyson Chandler and Derrick Lively, and he could honestly be a great third center for us, where if Derrick Lively or Daniel Gafford get injured, cool, throw in Jamarion Sharp. If he can't score, at least he can get some blocks at 7'5". That's very hard to score on. Look at Victor Wembanyama. Now, I'm not saying Jamarion Sharp is Victor Wembanyama, but when you're that tall, it's not that hard to get blocks. Where one season, Jamarion Sharp was averaging 6 blocks a game. That's just insane to me. Even on any college level, that's insane. But obviously, when you're that tall, it shouldn't be that hard. But like I said, one of his strengths is his just basketball IQ, his quickness. You can't really blow past him because he will trail you. He is very active on defense. He's always watching the court, great court vision, and he just knows where to place himself. Now, some of his weaknesses are that he just doesn't score that well. Obviously, when he's at the rim, it's money. It's very hard to defend someone that's 7'5" if you're not a 7-footer yourself. So obviously, the easy dunks and easy layups, they are handy. But a lot of teams, they just double, sometimes triple Jamarion Sharp down low, or just force him out of the paint, where he doesn't really have a lot of range, can't shoot the 3-ball at all. His free throw percentage is about 50 to 60% from the line. So obviously the offense would need help, but with the Dallas Mavericks just loving the lob threats, loving just the go-ahead lobs in the pick and roll, that could be fixed in our system. I mean, I think Jamarion Sharp fits what we're doing already. If anything, he's just maybe a Walmart version of Derrick Lively, right? You can get blocks, you can get rebounds, you're tall, you're very smart on defense, you're active. You just got to get a little bit more time to develop. I think Jamarion Sharp would be a great addition to this team, but at the moment, we just have him on a summer league invite. There is currently no contract given to him. So in the upcoming days, I want to say Wednesday's our first summer league game. I definitely want to see how well he does. At 7'5", you're pretty much our Boban replacement. I know a lot of people miss Boban. I do too. And hey, he's only 22 years old. He's younger than most of the guys. Whenever Dwight Powell or Maxey do retire or we move on from them, if we have someone like a Jamarion Sharp ready, cooking in the G League, just getting those reps and that development, could easily slide in and replace him. Not saying that he'd ever be a starter. Still think that's Derrick Lively. But having just, again, another 7-footer. I mean, we got Daniel Gafford, who's only about 6'10", 6'11"-ish, and Derrick Lively being our only real 7-footer alongside Dwight Powell. But just another one wouldn't hurt. I think that would be a big plus for the Dallas Mavericks. And with that last roster spot, we talked about how the Mavericks want to go after Dennis Smith Jr. or Spencer Dinwiddie, and there have been rumors about Marcus Morris. In the short term, those options may be better. As we're trying to win a championship now, Jamarion Sharp might just not be something on our radar. But in the long term, as an investment, I think that would work. And we do have AJ Lawson on a 2-way deal. If we just don't pick that up, if we cut AJ Lawson, that's 2 roster spots where you can get Jamarion Sharp and give him a 2-way deal, and you can get a Marcus Morris, you can get Spencer Dinwiddie or Dennis Smith Jr. with that last roster spot. There's a lot that we can do here, and I know that Nico Harrison is going to make the right moves for the Dallas Mavericks, but if you haven't looked up Jamarion Sharp, I advise you to look up his highlights right now. Being that tall, it's somewhat impressive and somewhat not impressive because, yeah, you should be able to get those blocks, those rebounds. It's very easy, but it's something about watching him play. He's very agile, very mobile. He moves almost like a guard, and the blocks are amazing. They're not just at the rim. He will meet you at the perimeter. He will meet you in the mid-range. It doesn't matter. His airspace is his airspace, and nothing goes by him. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you think Jamarion Sharp would be a good pickup? Should we waive AJ Lawson and just take a flyer on this 22-year-old 7'5" center? Do you think he could fit well in the short term or the long term? But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway next month, and the only way to become the only way to enter our giveaway is to become a channel member. But until next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.